Hello again, everybody. Welcome to USA Wrestling Weekly. I'm Scott Casper. Here now this week's news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. This week, USA Wrestling is providing exclusive reports from Istanbul, Turkey, the site of the 2011 World Wrestling Championships. USA Wrestling's communications staff is on hand to provide all the action to wrestling fans around the world. Istanbul is one of the world's great cities with an ancient culture going back many centuries. It bridges the European continent to the Asian continent and has some of the world's most interesting and historic sites, and it's very popular as a vacation spot for tourists from around the world. Turkey is one of the world's best wrestling nations as well, with a strong following for the sport. The World Wrestling Championships are being held in the Sinan Erdem Dome, a brand new arena which hosted the World Basketball Championships a year ago. This week it was packed to the rafters with wrestling fans from all around the world watching the greatest grapplers battling for world honors. This year's event is an important Olympic qualifier as the top 6 in each weight class qualify their nation to compete in the 2012 London Games. This episode will bring results from the first 2 days of action at the World Championships, which featured Greco-Roman wrestling. In next week's episode, we'll look at the update on the final 5 days of wrestling, including the conclusion of the Greco-Roman as well as the freestyle competition for both men and women. As this show is airing, you can also follow the conclusion of the World Championships with live audio, video, stories, and features at themat.com. Well, Team USA entered the first day of the World Championships with high hopes. 2 of the 3 athletes had won past world medals. The other was an Olympian. Justin Lester provided the highlight of the day in his attempt to win a 3rd career world medal. Competing in a loaded 145-pound class, Lester put together a string of victories, putting his goals within reach. In a rematch of a battle at last year's Kirby Cup, Lester opened with a 2-period victory over talented Alexander Maksimovic of Serbia. The final score there, 1-0, 2-1. His second victory came against a very tough Pan American rival in Alberto Montebria of the Dominican Republic. Lester shut out the Dominican 4-0, 4-0. China's Pan Zhang was the next to face Lester, and he went down to the talented American in 2 straight periods, 1-0, 6-2. Well, the quarterfinals proved to be huge as Lester faced 2008 Olympic silver medalist Kanat Betbegliev of Kyrgyzstan. Lester lost the first period by a 4-0 margin, but stormed back to sweep the last 2 periods 2-0, 4-3. Well, the win guaranteed Lester a chance at a medal and qualified the U.S. to compete in this weight class at the 2012 Olympic Games. Lester's run for the gold was stopped in the semifinals by the Georgian and 2010 world silver medalist Manuchar Tishhadia, who won by periods of 4-0 margin. The loss placed Lester into a bronze medal match where he was edged by 2010 Pan American champion Pedro Mullins Herrera of Cuba. The score there, 0-1, 0-1. Well, it was a long, hard day for Lester, who had 6 matches, falling just short of winning a medal. We talked with Lester after his 5th place performance.
I thought I wrestled pretty well. Left everything out there in every match, so that's all I can really say about it. Came back with the 5th, qualified the weight class. That's part of the job done. Just a little upset I'm not bringing home the medal. But like you say, it's Worlds. You never know what's going to happen. Some guys are just going to have a better day than you. I think that's what happened in the last 2 matches I had. Try to get back, get into some type of programs, and then make sure I get going on that and just keep doing what my coaches told me to do. I'll get there.
2005 world bronze medalist Justin Ruiz had a challenging draw at 211 pounds. He opened against 2-time world medalist Jimmy Lidberg of Sweden. Lidberg beat Ruiz in the bronze medal match at the 2010 Worlds. Ruiz had defeated Lidberg in the Kirby Cup earlier this year. This time it went the other way. Lidberg was able to defeat Ruiz by a score of 2-0, 1-0 in a close-fought battle. Ruiz had to wait through the rest of the morning session, rooting for Lidberg to earn a spot in the finals, which would bring Ruiz back into the repechage rounds. Well, Lidberg won his semifinal match. Ruiz was back in the tournament. His first repechage match was a solid 2-0, 1-0 victory over Tunisia's Hassan Ayari. Next up for Ruiz was a 2010 World's bronze medalist Timofey Danidenchenko of Belarus, who had also defeated Ruiz in the 2010 World Championships. It was another close showdown by which Ruiz lost by a score of 0-2, 0-1, eliminating him from winning a medal. Ruiz ended up losing to the same 2 athletes who defeated him last year when he finished 5th in the world. We talked to Justin after his difficult day of wrestling.
I ended up losing the same guys I lost to last year. So that's tough, It's like I'd beaten Jimmy earlier this year. So I felt like I had a great year going into this. And then, You know, just they wrestled tougher today. So got to give the credit to them. But you know, it's more matches that I got coming out here, more experience, and you know, it would have been nice to have qualified the weight class this time around. But now I just got to get ready for the other qualifiers later this year to get country qualified for the Olympics.
Well, the other American competing on day one in Greco-Roman was 2008 Olympian Spencer Mango. This year marked the third straight U.S. World Championships team for the talented 121-pounder. Mango came out strong and was the aggressor on his feet, but was unable to score in a 1-0-1-0 loss to the talented Arsen Araliev of Kyrgyzstan. Mango was eliminated from the tournament when Araliev fell one win short of reaching the finals. We visited with Mango after his competition.
I felt great. You know, I felt like we were prepared. You know, only thing I guess we can do now is just try to get more experience and come back and get it done next time.
This is the Olympic qualifying event, so we're going to have to go out and get this weight class at the Pan Am level. Your thoughts ahead on that? I mean, obviously, you enter the season as our guy, so.
Yeah, definitely got to come in there and get it done. You know, there's no other option. So got to go to Pan Am's and qualify this weight and then get ready for London.
National Greco-Roman coach Steve Frazier looked back at the first day of action in this interview with themat.com.
We all have to keep getting better. The world competition is not getting any easier. So we got to just keep getting better, keep paying the price, and getting the matches we need to getting the competition we need to get to sharpen our skills.
Well, 3 gold medals were awarded on the first day in an intense finals round. Ravshan Bayramov of Azerbaijan won his first world title at 121 pounds when he defeated Albek Tatsiev of Belarus in the finals. Bayramov was a 2008 Olympic silver medalist and has won 2 other world championship medals as well. While the battle for gold at 145 pounds went to Iran's Saeed Morad Abdubali, who won his first world title in a spirited battle against Manuchar Tashadia of Georgia. Now, it was the second straight year in which Tashadia placed second at the World Championships. The final gold medal, by the way, awarded at 211 pounds to the Bulgarian Elis Guri. He captured his first world title. He defeated 3-time world medalist Jimmy Lidberg of Sweden in a very exciting finals bout. Well, day one of the World Championships in Istanbul is now in the record books. Well, one of the year's highlights each year at the World Championship is the FILA International Wrestling Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. This year, the gala was held at the Sheraton Hotel in Istanbul. One of America's greatest international wrestlers, 4-time world champion Tricia Saunders, became the first American woman inducted into the special group of wrestling superstars. Saunders won world gold medals in 92, 96, 98, and 99, as well as a world silver medal in 1993. She retired from competition shortly before the sport gained inclusion in the Olympic Games. Saunders also served as a coach for the first U.S. women's Olympic team, which competed in the 2004 Athens Olympics. Saunders became the 6th American inducted into the FILA Hall of Fame, joining men's freestyle wrestlers John Smith, Bruce Baumgartner, Kevin Jackson, and Lee Kemp, along with referee Vince Warrow in this very special Hall of Fame. Tricia was joined by her husband and 1996 Olympic silver medalist Townsend Saunders for the celebration.
Well, it's completely overwhelming because you look at the other people who are in the hall and you think your name is going to be up next to those people that you've looked up for so long, the men, but also the women, some of them that I competed against, Sri Zhang and Ana Gomez and Shoko Yoshimura, my friends Yo-Yo Urano, Christine, you know, and it goes on. It's just to be in that company. We've been together for a long time, charted a lot of road together, and cut a lot of weight together. But it's really nice, especially from this perspective. You know, 10 years back, it's overwhelming and humbling.
Well, the ceremony included induction of 3 wrestling greats from Turkey, giving the banquet a hometown flavor. 1956 Olympic champion and 3-time Olympic medalist Hamit Kaplan of Turkey was inducted, as was 4-time world champion and 2-time Olympic medalist Hüseyin Akbas. The Turkish Greco-Roman star inducted was 1960 Olympic champion Tevfik Kiss. Also inducted were 2 heroes from Iran, 4-time freestyle world champion Ibrahim Javadi, plus leader Dr. Mohammad Tabakal of Iran. The final inductee was referee Stefan Kazarian of Armenia. All the inductees were presented to the guests at the Sheraton at the end, and they received a standing ovation fit for a king. Their amazing careers, their impact on the sport of wrestling, self-evident. Nice job and congratulations. We'll be back. More from the Worlds when we continue. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Before the whistle blows and the clock starts its inevitable downward trend. Remember, the results don't always add up, and last year is a distant memory. No matter what the pundits have said, let's go off script. Let's give them a match. Let's fight, boys. The NCAA wrestling season starts November of 2011. Count on it. Well, the second day of the World Championships proved to be challenging for our Greco-Roman Team USA. 3 more wrestlers took to the mats, each with a goal of winning a world medal. Now, among those on the mat was 264-pound 2002 world champion Dramil Byers. America's top big man in Greco has won 3 career world medals and was one of our top medal hopefuls. His opening bout was against a very talented opponent, 2010 world bronze medalist Nurmankan Tinaliev of Kazakhstan. Tinaliev won a 2011 Asian Games title and was among the top medal favorites. Byers won the first period against Tinaliev 1-0 and looked to be on his way to a big victory. Well, in the second, Byers appeared to have scored with a gut wrench late in the period, but no points were awarded to him. U.S. coaches believed he received the 2 points, and when the score was finally posted, it had the Kazakh wrestler with 1 point and none for Byers. The U.S. attempted to protest, but it was not allowed. Now, a review of this move on video shows that Byers has exposed Tinaliev to the mat, and 2 points should have been awarded. Let's show it again, this time in slow motion. Well, in the third period, Byers won on the bottom position in the parterre and only needed to defend to win the bout. Tinaliev scored a gut wrench with just 2 seconds left to win the final period and the match. Byers needed Tinaliev to reach the finals in order to get back into the repechage for a potential bronze medal. Tinaliev got all the way to the semifinals, where he was defeated by hometown favorite Riza Kayalp of Turkey, which served to eliminate Byers from the tournament. National coach Steve Frazier talked about the controversial call against Byers in that very important second period.
Byers gut-wrenched the Kazakh. The referee said no point, the judge said 2, and the chairman did nothing. In the meantime, the scoreboard is out. It's not working, so we don't know the score. Of course, we were going to challenge it. I turned to the judge, female judge, and I said, what's the score? She said, I gave 2, it's 2-1. They ended up giving only 1 for the Kazakh.
Well, as you might expect, Byers was not pleased with his performance or the outcome of his match against Tinaliev. We talked to Dramil.
One and done, there's not much you can say about that. Just guy went out there and he did a better job than I did today. I just got to accept that and go fix it. Go fix it. Every loss you get, you got to wear it. You're going to let it stay on you, and you deserve to win what you thought. You got to fix it. I thought I scored 2 points.
Yeah.
And happens sometimes.
At 132 pounds, Joe Betterman saw action on day 2 as well, wrestling in his second World Championships. By a score of 3-0, 1-0, Betterman dropped the first round match to Pan American rival Luis Liendo of Venezuela. Liendo defended in parterre in the first period before gaining a push-out in the second period. With Betterman's fate in his hands, Liendo went on a strong run, winning his next 3 bouts before falling in the semifinals. Because Liendo did not reach the finals, Betterman was knocked out of the tournament. We talked to Betterman about his competition.
I clash with certain styles that don't try to wrestle against me, like more defensive wrestler.
Right.
I was trying to score on my feet while he wasn't trying to score at all. So I lost because I scored on myself, pretty much. You know, a small mistake on my part. I came up to my toes, I was on my toes as I was pushing him out. I should drop my level. What can you do? I mean, I just got to get ready for the next qualifier, qualify the weight. You know, looking towards, I guess, the Pan Am Championships.
Well, the other American Greco wrestler on the second day was 185-pound star Cheney Haight, who was entered into his very first World Championships. Well, right off the bat, Haight drew 2010 Asian Games bronze medalist Janirbek Kenjiev of Kyrgyzstan. It was an evenly matched battle. Kenjiev claimed the deciding third period to score 1-0-0-1-1-0. That victory goes to him. Haight was eliminated when Kenjiev lost the next match in the tournament. We spoke with Cheney after the tournament was over.
Obviously not real happy that I wrestled. I thought I didn't really get after it as much when I was on top. Didn't really take advantage of it. Kind of caught my hands and I could never get a good lock. I just couldn't get in a position to turn them. Thinking back at it now, I just wish I would have took more chances during the match. Felt a couple times like I could have thrown him an arm throw, but I don't know.
Well, day 2 ended with Greco-Roman Team USA still seeking its first medal. We talked to Steve Frazier about the day.
You know, we all need work, everybody. We need to get better. I mean, it's like I said before, it's no easy task here. We feel that we can compete with the best in the world, but we got to keep getting better. And hopefully that's what we're going to do. We got one more weight class tomorrow with Andy Bissick at 74 kilos. And we're going to go for it there, of course, but a rough World Championship for us.
Well, the second day of the tournament treated the fans to some great gold medal bouts. At 132 pounds, Asian Games champion Omid Haji Nourouzi of Iran won his first world title with a victory over Almat Kaipitspayev of Kazakhstan, which brought many of the Iranian fans in attendance, as you might guess, to their feet. Scoring the winning points late in the 185-pound bout was Alim Salimov of Belarus, who captured his second career world title. Salimov edged Poland's Damian Jankowski in the championship bout. The 264-pound finals featured a major upset when hometown favorite Riza Kaliyev beat 4-time world champion and 2008 Olympic champion Mijan Lopez of Cuba in 2 straight periods. Competing with the thunderous applause from the Turkish fans, Kaliyev won in 2 straight periods and received a hero's welcome after he completed the major upset. Veteran wrestling observers noted that this year's World Championships in Istanbul was larger in size and stronger in quality than in any recent years. We spoke with Assistant National Greco-Roman coach Momir Petkovic about the quality of the 2011 World Championships.
Honestly, I expected it's going to be big, but not this big. I mean, some weight classes like almost 60 wrestlers. It's, never happened before, so it's a huge event. Yeah, I mean, countries are showing up, Indonesia and some, islands I never heard of it. So, at least, a sport like wrestling, is really kind of reaching out to all parts of the world. What's great for our sport. So it's really huge, very nice for our sport.
Well, more U.S. athletes will compete on the final 5 days at the World Championships. They include women's freestyle stars, world champion Clarissa Chan, and world silver medalist Elena Paraskova. Also scheduled to see action in freestyle is Olympic champion Cale Sanderson and world bronze medalist Travel Delegnev. We'll update you on all the action on next week's show. Well, hosting the World Wrestling Championships is a tremendous honor for the people of Istanbul, who are very proud of their nation's sports heritage. Istanbul has become a bid city now for the 2020 Olympic Games, and hosting major events like the Worlds is part of their effort to secure the Games. An elaborate opening ceremonies was held on the first day of the World Championships. The March of Nations was very impressive because of the large number of countries who have entered this year's World Games. Young wrestlers from across the country marched in with signs representing each nation in the tournament. The citizens of Turkey in attendance were excited to see that Prime Minister of Turkey, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, was there to witness the opening ceremony. Erdogan gave a rousing speech, which was enthusiastically received by the crowd. Now, the highlight of the opening ceremonies was the elaborate entertainment, which featured many of Turkey's best dancers and musicians who performed for the fans in attendance. What do you say we take a look at some of the highlights? Stay tuned, there's more. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly. Wrestling fans, USA Wrestling has launched a top social networking site designed for you. USA Wrestling Nation is the latest innovation provided to the wrestling community by our sports national governing body, USA Wrestling. Post photos, blogs, and videos. Interact on boards. Keep up with your favorite wrestling personalities with USA Wrestling Nation. It's free to register. Join the thousands of wrestling fans that have already signed up and become a part of the USA Wrestling Nation at usawrestlingnation.com. One of America's most active volunteers, Dr. Bernie Feldman, was at the World Championships in Istanbul this year as one of the official doctors for FILA. Feldman's career began as an event physician at the 1983 Junior World Championships in Illinois, and he's been serving the wrestling community at major international events ever since. Feldman is at the World Championships to help athletes from any nation who are injured and require medical care. He is also one of the doctors who determine whether an injured athlete can continue to compete or must be taken out of the event due to injury default. Feldman received great news when he arrived for the medical commission meetings in Istanbul. He was one of the two doctors who's been selected to serve as the FILA doctor for the 2012 Olympic Games in London, England. It'll be his second Olympic assignment, the other being the 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing. We visited with Dr. Feldman at the start of the 2011 championships in Istanbul.
I got the assignment to be one of two FILA doctors for the 2012 Olympic Games in London. And that's really, for me, that's the dream that you work for. I think it's the equivalent of maybe not even just making an Olympic team as an athlete, but maybe even winning a medal.
Well, another event held prior to the World Championships was a meeting of sports scientists who have a special interest in advancing knowledge within the sport. This movement within wrestling has been fueled by the passion of Dr. Dave Kirby of Illinois. Kirby has been a leader in organizing symposiums with leaders from around the world seeking research on a variety of topics affecting sports science within the community. Kirby organizes and conducts these meetings every year alongside the World Wrestling Championships. For the second straight year, Kirby has helped publish the International Journal of Wrestling Science, collecting scientific writings from around the world. We visited with Dr. Kirby at the event.
This year we're in Turkey. Everything went well. We tried to, since we've gotten our organization going, we've got a website up at inwr-wrestling.com. But then we've also got our journal, International Journal of Wrestling Science, and so we had that second issue coincide with this tournament, and it has had some very good response. We're sharing it mostly in a PDF format and available to anyone that's interested, but also we brought hard copy here and had some good response to that.
Back in the U.S., high schools and colleges are back in session, and American sports fans are enjoying the start of the American football season as well. However, the wrestling season is a few short months away, and many people are already thinking about the excitement ahead. With that in mind, U.S. Congressman Bruce Braley of Iowa was invited to speak at a breakfast at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame Dan Gable Museum this last week. Braley had a lot of positive things to say about the sport of wrestling and its place within America. Let's hear a bit from Congressman Braley.
One thing that I love about this state is in a time of crisis, Iowans come together they pitch in and they work together to get things done, and that's why this museum is still here. And so we owe it to each other to make this the magnet that draws people who care about the sport of wrestling and its impact on our history to want to come here and learn and experience the amazing things that they have to offer.
It's time for a technique segment on the show. It comes from Olympic Styles Level 1, featuring the ankle lace defense. Now, this week, being taught by National Freestyle Developmental Coach Bill Zadig. The athletes demonstrating the move are U.S. Olympic Training Center residents Angel Escobedo and Jimmy Chase.
The second most common attack from a freestyle top position is an ankle lace. To defend an ankle lace, again, our first priority is to fight the lock. We're not allowing our opponent to get an ankle lace locked up. If Jimmy's attacking a gut wrench and he goes to drop back to ankle lace, Angel's going to beat his position back, keeping his knees wide, and he's going to fight the lock. Here you see Angel smartly is looking back and attacking hands always on the same side. If we're ever reaching across, we're vulnerable for the top man to jump to a gut or a trapped arm gut. Again. So as the opponent drops back, he wants to plant his shoulder back. Angel beats his position back and then starts attacking the lock. You'll notice as they do this position, Angel keeps his chest low to the mat and keeps his hips and shoulders square. In case the top man tries to jump to the gut, he's ready to belly out and defend. So our butt back and knees wide and continue to move. Secondly, if our opponent gets an ankle lace locked up, here he's got the ankle lace locked, his ankles are crossed. Angel again is going to go butt back in, knees wide, and circle toward the pressure. In this manner, he's going to the left to relieve the pressure. And again, attack hands. So as he scoops the lock here, Angel butt back, knees wide, and circles toward to relieve pressure. If he has the ankle lace locked up so tight that we're going to go and we're not able to get our butt back, an option for Angel is to limp leg. He'll turn into the pressure to release it and pull his bottom leg to his chest and then square his hips and shoulders back to the mat. Go again. So, limp leg, he turns the hip down, knee to the chest, and then belly back out.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you all next week right here on USA Wrestling Weekly.